There's never going to be a perfect moment for you to make your art. You're always going to feel a certain way. Sometimes you're not going to feel good. I mean, today I'm not feeling my best. I haven't been feeling so great for most of the month, really. But I still did a lot of things. I still made a bunch of songs. I still played some shows. I think if you're waiting for the perfect moment to do your art, you're going to wait forever. It's so important to just do it regardless of how you feel. There's always levels to this. Like sometimes you get injured in some way and maybe you can't do your art like you want to. I was, funny enough, nursing a thumb injury where I couldn't really play guitar for a month and a half. Now I'm finally getting back on my guitar, finally performing again, playing, practicing. But yeah, I guess I could have worked through the pain. I think specific things like that, yeah, okay, you need to like relax. If you need a component, especially fingers, when you're doing something creative, if you're painting or if you're drawing, if you're typing, if you're using a mouse, if you're using an instrument, you'll need like your hands. Very important. And as you can see in my video, I've never really worked a day in my life with those hands. They look very, very nice and clean. Well, I mean, it wasn't my passion. Like some people go into construction because it's their passion. Others go into it because there's usually a lot of work to be done. I mean, my grandfather was in construction, did construction most of his life. I do have an interest in construction and interior design and buildings and that kind of stuff. So I mean, I do have that in me, but I just don't. I'm just so scared of, cutting wood and and doing all that stuff. A lot of times, unfortunately, my wife is usually doing those things. Yeah, like I find if you're always waiting for the right time to do anything, then you're just going to be waiting forever. There's so many times where I've had like massive like panic attacks and anxiety just recording vocals. But I fought through them. Maybe it wasn't the right thing to do every time, but I did it, and I listened to the songs after, and it doesn't even sound like I had lots of anxiety or any of that. I mean, playing shows, you get injured all the time. I stuck my foot on a bad spot on stage once, and it took me like 3 weeks for my foot to start feeling better. It's usually something with your feet, especially if you're on stage. Like, one of my shows, I literally fell on a bass wedge on the floor. Got up right away, performed, but man, I had to put some ice on because I had a bunch of shows after. Like, I'm not gonna just start canceling everything just because I'm feeling a little weird. I think most of the time, if I'm canceling something like a show, it's usually because I really cannot sing at all. Like, that's a good reason for cancellation, especially since most of my shows are about singing. It's the same if I'm recording vocals, and yeah, my vocals, if they're really not there, if if I'm still healing from a cold or something like that, but I usually try to push through. I mean, even if I have a cold, I can still produce music. I can still play instruments. I can still come up with songs. And then once my voice starting to feel a little bit better, then I start singing them. But I just find like I work with whatever I'm given on that day. I'm still young. As I'm gonna get older, there's a bunch of stuff that's gonna come up, and sometimes there's some freak stuff. I mean, I've just heard this artist Sulchin Stevens. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I mean, he had one of the syndromes where just got fully paralyzed, and he's a young guy, like he's my age, and now he's going through rehabilitation. He's like has to learn how to walk again, and that's crazy. But yeah, I'm just looking at it on my computer. It says that he suffered from Guillain-Barré syndrome. That's crazy. But like, that's a guy who's massively talented, has released a lot of recordings, and has played many shows, and now he has an autoimmune disorder, and it's left him unable to walk, and now he's undergoing intensive therapy to recover. And every time I feel like I'm not feeling so good, I think of all of those things where singers completely lose their voices or lose their whole bodies, or something happens. And I mean, like Avicii, for example, I mean, pretty much died because of all this stuff that, all the pressure put on him. And I'm thinking, I still have my capacities. I still have all my, my brain is still here. I am healthy. I can do everything to the best of my abilities, and I have to do it while I can, while you're healthy. And you have to gauge like the level of your I guess how you feel. Maybe gauge out of 10 how you feel. If you're at a 7 or 6 out of 10, personally I still think you're able to do a lot. If you're really down, if you're really sick, if you have a bad flu, if you catch COVID, yeah, that's different. Yeah, you're probably gonna need 4 or 5 days to rest, and then catch your energy again. That I totally understand. But I think it's always good to remind yourself that you're in better shape than you think, and time is not something you can take back. And so you gotta be creative and do your creative things and do all the things that you're passionate about, while you still can. I mean, life goes by really fast. Don't forget that. And try to enjoy every moment, even if you're not always going to be in a perfect state of mind. Bye, everyone.